Then it got nasty. We moved from masculinity is stupid and pointless to masculinity is evil. Masculinity is dangerous. Men are evil. Men are dangerous. And the idea of toxic masculinity was born, which is being upheld even by the American Psychological Association. As I'm sure most of you in the room will know, they had this piece that they released about how psychologists across America must unify in training young men that being a man is bad for their mental health, that masculine traits are bad for your mental health. We live in very, very strange times, folks. Anybody watching this on YouTube afterwards who thinks that this is just a room full of men concerned with men's issues, what I would say is the defense of masculinity is the defense of humanity itself. The end goal is not to put women in charge. Women are tricked. Women are tricked who think that. Feminism, the ambition, the agenda of feminism, the cancer on culture that is feminism, is to trick women into thinking that they will get their moment in the sun, that they will be in charge. But that's not true. Women will not be in charge. Men will not be in charge. We will all be enslaved and subjugated. There will be no men. There will be no women. There will be what Jack Donovan has referred to as androgynous, genderless worm people who consume. We are being trained by an extremely evil agenda to be the best voters and the best consumers we can be, and there is no other concern. Social justice has fuck all to do with this. Never did. It was never about social justice. It's only about subjugation, enslavement, and entrainment. Attacking men was necessary. Why? I said yang. Men are yang. Men were the boundary. Men were the boundary. Men were the wall. Men were the last line of defense. And that's gone because there was a little trick that was used, developed by the communists. This isn't me being a paranoid right-wing conspiracy theorist. It is verifiable, objectively. It's called demoralization. Train the women into an ideology of conformity, vanity, and victimhood that causes them to hate men and to show men contempt. And what happens when men lose their women? They become depressed. Are we not depressed? They become listless. Life has no meaning. Life has no passion. Life has no juice. Men clearly live for women. Hang on a second, though. I thought men hated women. I thought men lived just to subjugate women and enslave them. But apparently that's not true because we're depressed as fuck without women. Because women don't want us anymore. Because they've been trained in this toxic, cancerous ideology to think of us as pointless, stupid, unnecessary, and or evil. True or false? I'm afraid it's true. So here we are now, and what would I say to a young man in this society, in this culture right now? And he said to me, how do I be a man and how do I be masculine? I would say you need to recognize all of this. You have to absorb all of this. You were raised, you were born, unfortunately, in a very, very strange time where the essence of who you are not allowed to be that. And the people who tell you that you're not allowed to be a man are the same fuckers who are going to tell you that you have to accept what everybody else wants to be because that's what they identify as. You have to accept what other people want to do if it's a fucking freak show, but if you want to be a man, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'm sweating now. I told you the ephedrine would kick in. So, in this version of events, in this timeline, in this reality that we're up to now, masculinity is a decision to be, as opposed to not being. This that we face is not feminism. Feminism is a mask for what this is. This is a death cult. This is a death cult. The purpose of this cult, as I say, and as Jack has said, is to turn us all, men, women, children, trans, everybody, nobody's safe from this, into genderless, identityless, worm people who will literally be put into pods. Literally. I swear you will see this in the next 5 years. Pods. Pods are coming. They won't be called pods, they'll be like virtual reality machines or whatever, but we will be facing a heavy pressure to get into pods because it's pleasurable. So the pleasure button's going to get pushed, as it always is with these people, and for the good of other people. So if you want to be virtuous, if you want to do the right thing, you should go and jerk off inside of a pod and just consume infinite virtual reality sex, or infinite virtual reality torture, or genocide, or all of human depravity. Consumer capitalism as it is today is evil. I'm a capitalist, but we need to recognize the difference between free market capitalism and consumerism. It behooves consumer capitalism to provoke and invoke evil in people, the 7 deadly sins: lust, sloth, greed, envy, rage. Because people are in that state, they buy and they submit and they do as they're told. Recognize that. Yang is the choice to be. There is going to be conflict in this choice. There is going to be conflict in this choice. If you think about, at the very raw level of reality, the structure of human genitalia, that which is the yang is an audacious thing. That's a daring thing. But it is standing out, and it is visible, and it is punishable, therefore. Safer to be horizontal, safer to be flat. We're talking ones and zeros. We're talking being and not being. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say yang is good and yin is bad. They need each other. They absolutely need each other. But this is the choice between, I would claim, a life, one of passion, one of red-bloodedness, one of individuality, one of being able to be who you are, whatever that is. I'm all for it. I'm all for people spontaneously being whoever and whatever they want to be. The forces that we face are not. They demand submission, and as I say, it's a death cult. I'm reminded frequently of